Chris, does it feel like you've finally found all the answers? Is that the best you could have put up today in the sense of difficult year you had at the start, you've now found all the answers to what was troubling you at the beginning?
Oh, no, I don't think you ever feel like you find all the answers in this game. We've probably been in good form now for about 7 weeks, I reckon. What have we... Last 7, we've won 5 and had a draw, and Hawthorn got us. It was an equal shots game, so... I feel like, obviously we're 2 and 5 and backs to the wall a little bit, and we've just gone back to the old one game at a time mantra, and gradually our form has built. And, the last... Particularly the Bulldogs game a couple of weeks ago and today, they've been fairly complete performances in every facet of the game. So it's exciting to see that, because we've got a lot of young players playing at the moment too. So we're taking some steps in the right direction, and hopefully we can keep building.
What did you like most of that one?
Sorry,
what did
mate?
you like most of that one?
What did I like most about that game? I think it's really important. Against Port, you got to win the contest and the territory battle, and we were able to do that today. The ball sort of lived in our half, and we were able to score well off 4 half turnover, and our boys around the ball did a good job. So that assisted that.
Looking, you just said in the rooms that your message sort of going into the bye was that your numbers compared to this time last year was similar, if not better.
Yeah.
Has your message been that you haven't been as bad as maybe your start might have suggested?
Yeah, well, coaches, we look at facts, right, and statistics, and it was really clear at the halfway mark of the year that despite, I don't know what our win-loss was at that point in time, that our numbers said we should have been better. And so I just told that to the players, because sometimes there's this outside narrative that people listen to and it becomes the truth. The job as a coach is to always have your players knowing what the actual facts are and what the truth is. So that's all I did at our bye, and just reinforce that we're doing a lot of things right. We just had to tidy up our accuracy in front of goal, and make more of our entries inside 50. And if we could do that, we could probably start to win more consistently. So far since then, that's what we've been able to do. But there's a long way to go, so not getting too excited. But I love the way we played today.
I think Oscar McInerney got some external criticism a few weeks ago. Is he an underrated big man in this competition?
Yeah, he even underrates himself, I reckon. He's a great story, Oscar. He's been there the whole time I've been there, from a pretty humble background and a late starter in terms of AFL, but he's maturing into a really competitive ruckman. To kick 3 goals and to give us first look today in a lot of the stoppages was a pretty special effort by him, and I'm really happy for him. I hope he thinks he played well himself.
Just the scoring efficiency too, Chris. You must have been rapid, particularly in that second quarter.
Yeah, well, it's that was a problem for us at the start of the year. We're getting lots of entries, but not getting as many scores as we would have liked. But that's just been, we've just worked on it, and what did we have today? We had 37 shots, did we? Yeah. And how many inside 50s?
71.
Yeah, so if you go over 50%, that's a good return. So there was some good ball use inside. We didn't take 15 marks inside 50 in the end, but we got a lot of ball at ground level today as well, and did a good job with that.
How much do you feel like some of your fresh faces have sort of given the side a bit of a spark as well when it comes to Reveal and Morris and Long?
Yeah, it's hard to say, because the guys that are out are pretty good players too, and they bring a lot to the team. But I guess when young blokes get an opportunity that maybe they didn't think they were going to get, they rise to the occasion. So it's been one of the positives of this year, is that we've lost some really experienced players, but those young blokes have come in. And at the end of this year, when all those older blokes recover from their surgeries, and when we start again next year, I feel like we'll have better depth in the club. So that's the sort of silver lining to a dark cloud, I guess. But no, those blokes have, in many ways, they've exceeded expectations. But I think their more experienced teammates have brought them along too, and have helped them really well. So, combination of things there.
How is Long?
He just got a bit of a corky on the hip, and we've got a game in 6 days. So we had Shadow sitting there. So we thought we'd just get him into the game and ice Kai up and make sure he's right for next week.
How much emphasis was placed on performing for Harris today as well in his tournament?
Oh, I have to be truthful a lot. Harris Andrews is like, if you had a son, you'd like him, right? I would like him if I had a son. He's one of the most dedicated people I've ever come across. He's one of the most selfless people I've ever come across in footy. He's always giving to others at the club. That's why he and Lockie are, co-captains. He started his career, baptism of fire, really, back when Brisbane were really struggling, and he was playing fullback on some of the best players in the competition and having to defend 70 entries just about every week. It's a miracle that he came through that and came out the other side to be the great player that he is. He's a 2-time All-Australian. In my opinion, he could easily be a 3 or 4-time All-Australian. And he's on target for that sort of performance this year. So, he's a bloke with a growth mindset. He's always trying to find ways to get better. Puts the team first. If you go to training and there's people down watching, Harris will always go over and talk to him afterwards. I mean, he's perfect in many ways. He can get a bit grumpy when things aren't going right out in the ground, so he's not totally perfect. But so I feel privileged to have coached him, to be honest. When I look back when my coaching days are over, I'll think he's definitely one of the best players I've ever coached, and person as well.
Chris, you noted the need to deal with what your record had been on this ground. To win so convincingly on an away venue, what's that going to mean in the big picture for you?
Well, we've actually been going all right on the road this year, so it sort of was a little bit of a criticism of us last year. Although I think, in the world of sport, if you're roughly winning 50% of your road trips, you're going pretty well if you're winning at home. So I've had I think we've been to Adelaide 3 times this year, so we've had a couple of wins and a draw. We're pretty happy with that. When you're an interstate team, you've got to win on the road to be any good, don't you? So we'll take some confidence out of that. I mean, we really rate Port Adelaide. We found them hard to beat at this oval. I think we've only been able to do it one other time since I've been the coach. So pretty pleased to achieve that today, and we'll take confidence from it.
As a fellow senior coach, when you see a crowd booing Ken Hinkley every time he's on the big screen or when he walks off there, how much sympathy do you have for someone in that position?
An enormous amount. I got a bit of an idea of Ken Hinkley's win-loss record as a coach. It's an extraordinary record that he's got. So for me, that's. If there's one disappointment about winning today's game, it's the fact that he got booed off the ground. I don't like that. Coaching's a hard caper. He would have put everything into trying to win this game. It didn't quite work out for him. It was our day. We had big motivation because Harris Andrews was playing his 200th game. And I think, he had a few players out injured, and there might have been a bit of ill health go through the club this week. So it's really hard to tell sometimes when you're on the outside looking in what's actually been going on. But, no, for me, I'm a big supporter of all coaches, but, his record here at this club is extraordinary, and he shouldn't be judged on one performance.